movie you talked about earlier, Charlie?
The Island.
Yeah, I'll bet there are people that think the island was real and actually is happening. There are just escaped clones or like clones that got out of a lab and are just walking around hiding among us.
Island on Netflix, isn't that?
Can you explain it?
A horrible thing?
So
horrible show?
Go ahead, Charlie.
It's not a show. It's a movie from the earlier 2000s. It's actually one of Scarlett Johansson's first major roles. She played Ewan McGregor's sidekick's the wrong word, but they were together. They were the leads. It's a movie about they create this facility where they create artificial people for the sake of raising them and then harvesting their organs for their counterparts in the real world. So rich people paid to have a clone of themselves put at this facility so that way they could have the organs should they ever need them. Well, when they need them, because, for example, Ewan McGregor's character is a really rich businessman who he has like organ failure from drinking. Or no. He has some kind of sexually transmitted disease. And he needs like a new penis or something.
Penis, yeah.
It's not a new penis, but he like needs new organs because his body was failing from it. And so that's where Ewan McGregor gets created. Eventually he finds out the truth, like, oh, we're actually clones of people in the real world and they're just trying to harvest us. And it's called The Island because they made it like a game. So when it was someone's time to get harvested, they had like a lottery where you'd win a trip to the island. They were convinced that humanity had fallen and the last bastion of hope was the island outside of their facility. So they thought they were going to the island, but they were just getting harvested for organs. Steve Buscemi's in it. Sean Bean's in it.
I think Michael Clark Duncan's in it too.
He is in it as well.
Sounds like a black comedy almost.
It's actually a good movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, so maybe it doesn't hold up well, but it was so good when I watched it first time. Yeah,
you have a weird taste in old movies. You like Troy. I watched that recently, and God, that was awful. Apart from one scene.
Troy's such a good movie. Were you watching like Brad Pitt though? Like, did you actually watch?
Yeah. Brad Pitt is good in anything. Like, okay. Yes, but the movie was bad. Apart from that one fight scene with Brad Pitt, but everything else bad. They put Brad Pitt in a tent the entire time. He doesn't do shit.
He has sex in the tent.
Yeah, good point. But I don't think it was like particularly consensual. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Brad Pitt in a tent. Like, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. No clones though. No clones in Homer's
Odyssey. Do you guys have any hope for the Matrix movie?
I don't. I'm cautiously optimistic just because I'm sure I'll enjoy it just because Keanu's in it.
Keanu, yeah.
I just really like the Matrix franchise. But
even the third movie?
Too, man. But
yeah, I like what it does. I don't necessarily like the movie, but so the two Matrix sequels needed to be edited more. They needed to have things cut out and scenes reworked, and then I think they could have been incredible. Because I think the overall idea... Was that guy?
Needed to not exist. The third one was awful, dude.
Yeah, but I like a lot of the concepts of it. I really, really love the whole twist is that they build on the original concepts. The first movie is, oh, the world is virtual and it's a simulation, and break free of that mind trickery, and that's cool. And then the second movie is, holy shit, Agent Smith is trying to leave the simulation, but he's an artificial being. He's not a real human. What the fuck? And that concept is cool. And then the third movie is Agent Smith himself warps into a virus and consumes the entire Matrix. And I think where they go with it is great, where at the end you have that whole literal, like, the entire Matrix is just Agent Smith. And I don't know, there's cool things in them. They're just poorly written and really paced bad and too much dialogue explaining things.
It was bad, man. But I was watching the trailer for the new one now, and they got rid entirely of the visual style that the Matrix had, that green tint, that cool style that they had. And it seems to be like they're rebooting the franchise or some shit, or I guess maybe the Matrix itself got restarted or something. Keanu is back in the Matrix. And they have some of the old actors and actresses like, what's her name? Trinity. And Keanu, obviously, but they didn't get Lawrence Fishburne, so they just hired a random guy to look like him, and it looks like an SNL spoof of The Matrix.
Well, the thing is, I think Lawrence couldn't do it. Like, he wasn't available for the role. So what they did is Morpheus to be a younger version of Morpheus. Plus, I could be misremembering, but didn't Morpheus die in the third movie?
No,
I don't remember
but I'm
either.
not sure.
No, he was in Zion. Wait, did he die?
I vaguely remember Morpheus dying, so I think like one of the things they wrote in here is he's back but younger.
That's stupid.
It
just looks like a parody.
No,
It looks
Morpheus
dumb.
lives. I'm looking at
Yeah,
it now.
here, chat told me he died in The Matrix Online, which is a canon story.
Oh,
The fuck is
Oh,
Matrix?
thank
Is that a
God.
video game? It's a video game. Yeah, I actually played it. It's an MMO.
yeah.
Wait, they killed off a main character in a video game?
Yeah.
Or one of the main
Oh
characters?
God, I do remember that.
What was the game like? Was it good?
I liked it, but I recently rewatched gameplay because they brought it back on a private server. The gameplay doesn't look as cool as I remember it being, but I remember
Holy
liking
shit.
it.
How have I never
don't know.
seen this?
There's also
like
Enter
Star
the
Wars
Matrix, I guess. Did Trinity die in that one?
Oh, that game was a fucking huge pile of shit.
Was that like the Xbox 360 one?
So there were two big Matrix
no, I don't
games.
think it
There
was
was
a
Path of
360 yet.
Neo, which was
So
actually
good.
good. That was a good game.
So good.
But fucking Enter the Matrix was the one that starred two like side characters, and it was fucking horrendous.
It was Niobe, and it was that Asian dude in a white
And
suit
Ghost,
who
I
kind of looked
think.
cool, but they were. Yeah, they weren't like interesting though. Like they
Yeah.
were just two characters that they introduced for 2.7 seconds in Matrix Reloaded, I think, at the very beginning where they blow up the nuclear reactor or something.
Yeah, and
Isn't it weird
also,
that
and
games-
the gameplay was god awful. The story was god. That whole game is a fucking nightmare.
It's super weird to me that games like this don't exist anymore. Like, there's no movie-based games, really. That died off.
What are you talking about? Every fucking month we get another Marvel game.
Yeah, that's only happened recently, and they're doing a weird thing where they're not connected to the movies either.
Well, because they're
Like they
made
don't have
before
any
the movie
license
even
Can't
comes
use a
out.
likeness.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
they
the
can't
idea,
use the same likenesses.
so it's part of the whole production cycle. The idea is if the movie came out and then they started the game, there's no way they would make the window. You want the game to come out around when the movie does so you can capitalize on the hype and get all the sales. So most movie games
Yeah.
start development like when the movies are announced, basically. And they usually have the script or similar things to work off of, but not the actual film. So if there's rewrites and shit, you could have just mismatching products, and there's not a lot of quality to base off of because they're just working with, unfinished source material.
But can you guys actually think of any games that are based off or based off the movies that they're representing?
Not
that have
anymore.
come out
It was
recently?
a trend over a decade ago. Like Green
It was a trend that
Lantern.
lasted forever, though, and I think
Yeah.
they were successful to some degree.
I don't think they were ever. There was a
No.
fucking Battleship game based on the Battleship movie. I still
Yeah,
wish
King
I'd
Kong.
played
you
that.
guys like the
Another-
King Kong game?
Another
No,
reason
dude.
they're not successful,
No.
Jackson, is the licensing takes up most of the budget. So it's like, let's say you want to make like an Avengers game, you're going to spend probably $100 million on just the licensing rights alone. And it's like, why would I do that when I can make an original game and not have to worry about already being down that much money,
Well, for the marketing, yeah. I mean, people are posting screenshots from that Star-Lord game. That what is it? Guardians of the Galaxy. Sorry, it looks so shit. None of the characters look like their on-screen counterparts. It's awful.
None of the
It's
current Marvel
abysmal.
games do, and that seems like such a missed opportunity. Why wouldn't you tie it in with the Marvel franchise like that? They're their own thing.
It's like
weird.
these god-awful licensing issues, man. It's just like region locking on streaming platforms, right? Like, why would you not want your movie to be shown in another country? It's because due to some fucking agreement or another, they make slightly more money if they don't. And the same is true, I guess, with actors using their likenesses in video games. Speaking of, I love Keanu Reeves, but I also feel like he's getting really lazy because I was watching this trailer and I couldn't help but to think of somebody like Christian Bale, for example, right? Who for every role he modifies his body, like he either loses a lot of weight or he gains a lot of muscle and such, right? And then you have Keanu Reeves, who doesn't even bother to shave anymore. He looks just like himself in every fucking movie. It's just like
what
you
they want.
took John Wick and put him in the Matrix.
Well, that's not a bad strategy, though. I mean, John Wick is hugely popular right now. So kind of going, look, he's like John Wick in this movie is not a bad marketing tie at all.
Well, just having
I
Keanu's
guess.
not a bad marketing call at all, no matter what you do with him.
Yeah, like
we all love
Cyberpunk.
Keanu, and I'm still gonna watch this movie. But like, yeah, he doesn't even change his hairstyle. He won't even tie it back for a different role. He just looks like the same in every movie.
And that's how I
don't know.
like it.
I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's never been a great actor or anything, but he's always fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't
He
think
is.
anyone
He's
would
so
argue that
enjoyable.
he's like a super deep actor or anything, but I mean, he does well. Like he's
Yeah.
an enjoyable character.
He's just likable and
Yeah.
fun to watch.
He's like Nicolas Cage, except far better.
Did any of you guys see that movie he was in where like the two girls go over to his house and he fucks them and then they like
I wanted to.
him.
Is it good?
No, I've only seen a little bit of it, and
Yeah.
I watched clips. It looks so goofy. Keanu's like, "You came into my house and you fucked me. What am I supposed to do?
That's
you
where
fucked
they
me."
that's where they bury him up to his neck in the sand,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And then post the sex tape on
Why?
Facebook or whatever.
Wait, is he playing himself? Is he playing Keanu Reeves?
No, this is a very non-Keanu role. So he's like he's a father. His wife and daughter or something are out of town, and these two girls in the rain say their car broke down. They need a place to stay, and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you can stay here." And then they ended up like having a threesome, and then they stay there for a while, just having threesomes, and then eventually it turns out that they just like torture men like this. So they like tie him to a chair, and they're talking about it and filming him, and he's like, "What the fuck was I supposed to do? You fucked me. It's two hot girls, and you fucked me. You fucked me."
Yeah, it's called
Fucking-
Knock
it's
your
Knock
fault.
is the movie.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh,
It's
man,
called
that's
being
such
a man.
generic name.
my hands were tied. I mean, two chicks wanted to fuck me.
Wait. He gets raped. Apparently, he's tied to his bed, and
No.
this character rapes him.
That's
she
towards the end of the
records
movie. They had a consensual
They had
sex
consensual
before
sex
that.
first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they start torturing him.
Yeah, I'm on Netflix right now, on German Netflix, so I'm not seeing it. I know what movie you're talking about, though. I have seen
Yeah,
it
it's-
before. I've not watched it. Man, he
Yeah,
was in
Andrew said it's not
Constantine. I forgot about that
it's
movie.
it's
That
a
was so
fucking
good.
Eli Roth movie.
Yeah, his fucking wife is one of the girls that has sex with Keanu.
Woohoo!
Aw,
Yeah,
God, I love Keanu.
he's so good.
No, wait. She's not his wife anymore. They're divorced since.
Yeah, after that
2018.
threesome, she couldn't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been chasing
Did
Keanu
she
ever
also
since.
die? Like everyone in his life? The poor
Yeah.
man.
Keanu has such a
God, I just
sad
wanna-
story.
I just want to hug him.
Wait,
Buy him
his
a beer.
his wife?
What a nice guy.
Oh yeah, Eli Roth's
Yeah.
wife. I thought you meant Keanu's wife was one of the girls.
Oh. Yeah, I thought that too.
No. Eli Roth's wife was one of the girls in this movie.
Yeah, I thought you meant Keanu Reeves' wife was one of the girls.
Oh no.
That's also what I thought. Wait, did Eli Roth just like write her into the role to watch her kiss Keanu?
I wouldn't blame him if he did.
Very well possible.
Cuck for Keanu.
Now sit on his
That's
lap.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, just like that.
Keanu probably didn't even know this was a movie. That's why his reaction was like, "What the fuck? What was I meant to do?"
I'm sorry, Eli. Jesus Christ.
You told me I could fuck her.
I'm a method actor.
Oh yeah. That's funny because he's the furthest thing from a method actor.
Yeah, exactly.
Keanu,
he's
can we
an
do your
actor.
makeup? Maybe cut your hair? No.